Karuga. Qapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False good. Important things are needed to be.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. And the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these three. We're equipped larger than the rest. With a special pride never written before or since. Tall words proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla. And welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday for Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. And yes, I know it is Tuesday. Change of plans, a good news, bad news kind of situation. Bad news was wasn't feeling the greatest today. Wasn't even sure I was going to be able to stream at all this afternoon. Good news is, as you can see, I am streaming. Better news is that I'm doing DS9 Wednesday today, because tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, which is the normal time we would be starting DS9 Wednesday, is in fact the time that I'm supposed to be evaluated as the first step, first hands-on step in getting a new wheelchair. They have to send an occupational therapist to the house to look at me and possibly take some measurements and just see what type of chair I may or may not qualify for. In the meantime, for those of you who watch Captain Trek stream in the morning, I am still dealing with some heart and swelling issues with my cardiologist. They did come and they took blood and whatnot this morning, and hopefully we'll have some answers soon. Truth be told, it's been a pretty mixed day physically, but I do feel like I can do DS9. And I really didn't want DS9 to get pushed back, so rather than risk us missing DS9 completely this week, I said we'll do it today, a day early, and of course I'm getting a phone call, and it is spam. Okay, if you know it's spam, why do you ring? Anyway, Dan23 says, I understand you doing it on Tuesday, but why, Dan? Well, I just explained. Qapla, Dan, welcome. Richie Poole says, oh no, not another Ferengi episode. Yes, today's episode is Season 5, episode 20, Ferengi Love Songs, written by Ira Stephen Bear and Hans Beimler. Despite who it was written by, I'm going to be honest, this is not in my top 50% of episodes. I think we're getting a little too much Ferengi this season, which, don't get me wrong, I like the episode because it does feature Chase Masterson, aka Leeta, because Rom and her have some pre-marriage difficulties, but it has a lot of Ferengi stuff on Ferenginar, and I don't know. I think they went in a little hard on Quark's childhood. As opposed to next week's episode, Soldiers of the Empire, which is a very Klingon episode, and certainly a top 50% DS9 episode. Cinnabon Bunny says, wow. Welcome, Cinnabon, who was streaming earlier today on Twitch. Richie Pools is Bird of Prey. I hope you're feeling better. I have to get back to work, so Qapla, Richie Pool. Truth be told, about the same. Cinnabon Bunny says, was going to finally join you on open lines, and you decide to do DS9 instead. I see how it is. Oh, Cinnabon, I am so sorry. You know, if you really were going to join me, I feel terrible. I will try to do open lines tomorrow, but it'll probably be later in the day after they're done with the evaluation. Richie Pool says, maybe Bird doesn't know what day it is. Cinnabon says, YouTubers conspiring to keep me off the platform because I won't give in to pressure and shill for Hollywoke. And don't mind me, I'll just be in the corner sobbing and eating cake. John Araki says, Qapla, John Araki. Thomas Potts says, today is Tuesday. For the first day in his life, Thomas cares what day it is. 54.5 Access Radio says, hashtag Cinnabon Bunny. I think he means went woke, and puts in 3 bunnies. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings to the official package inspector, Mike Richards. Thomas says, Bird of Prey has always been bad with calendars. Bradley Briggs says, zup y'all, zup Bradley. John Araki's putting in tacos for Tuesday. Dave G. Sound says, I like this stupid episode. I can't help it. You know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's an episode I can't help but like. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. John Araki, hashtag free Gina, or free Gina. And John DeMarco says, greetings all. Greetings, John. And he says, DS9 on Tuesday. I see that you've been around Matthew too much. John Araki says, hashtag hands-on evaluation. Hashtag cancel Hillrom. John Street says, put Bird of Prey if you want Sleeping O'Prey to read your comments and watch along with Bird of Prey over at the Bird Screening Room at www.birdofprey5.com. It should be /SR. Only when Bird of Prey is streaming. And thank you, John Araki, for the $1 super chat. We got some Enterprise shooting a Bird of Prey there. Original, or I think. Carlo Albanese is asking about vampires. Josh, you put in the link to the screening room. Thank you. And Carlo says, hope everyone's as well as can be. Hail Karoga. Thank you, Carlo. John Street says, yes, Carlo, sparkly vampires. John Araki says the vampires with the crystal skull. No. Carlos is bird of prey. Don't eat the out-of-date spam. I'm gonna pray save for you. It's not Sunday. Sunday. Don't worry, not going to. Cinnabon Bunny says it all sounds very convenient. Josh Reed is asking, isn't the Sparkly Vampires moved to Karoga? Carlos talking about Yankee Traders. John DeMarco says something like that. And John Araki says Sparkly Vampires and Alpacas are sworn enemies. Carlo Albanese says Garfield in space. Oh, Jesus. You're not even supposed to see Garfield in space. I forgot to launch the episode, the screenshot. Let me do that now. There you go. That's what should be visible on the view screen, but I forgot to do it till just now. That's why you don't normally get to see Garfield in space. Usually not till the end of the episode. Thank you, Carlo. John Street says, Carlo, you missed Bird of Prey eating the out-of-date spam on Salty Tracker's stream. No, I did not. D.D. Myers says, Bird of Prey Qapla, hope you and the family are doing well. Glad that you are starting on the road to getting your new chair. Hope all goes well tomorrow. Thank you, D.D. Who also says hello to the chat. Eastland says, are you really playing Ferengi Love Songs? Well, that's the name of the episode, Eastland. It's not the name of a song. Dave G. Sound says hello to Dee. Mike Richards says hashtag inspect your own package. And Eastland Burkholder says hello to all. Carlos says it should be Star Trek Generation today. It's Tuesday. That's true. Dave G. Sound says, I really like this episode. It's for its fun. Bradley Briggs says he's still in space. Well, now he's stuck to the 9. John Street says, Bird of Prey, I never heard of Deep Space Garfield. Cinnabon is crying with his cake. John Araki says, Soupy Trekker greater than Salty Trekker. And Carlos says, Garfield in the 9, but not 7 of 9. This is true. Okay. So let's head on over to the screening room. I will do the countdown, and we will get ready to watch Season 5, Episode 20, Ferengi Love Song. And if you have this, you have your own copy on DVD, of course, get it queued up. You can get it on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, and of course Paramount Plus to stream. No Dear Bop, and I'm not singing Ferengi Love Songs, and Garfield was not a stupid show. And Dave G says Deep Space 9 Lives, the Garfield sector. This is Captain Garfield of the USS Jim Davis. I have found a nebula full of lasagna. I have ordered our transporter chief to beam the entire contents into my quarters. I have also informed First Officer Odie that I will be unavailable for the next 96 hours. To eat lasagna where no cat has eaten lasagna before. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Anyway. And then they beam. I've ordered our science officer to beam Nirmal to Abu Dhabi using the long-range transporter code that Commander Scott developed in Star Trek 2009. John Araki says, what's The 69th rule of acquisition. Don't feed your cat lasagna. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ready. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And John DeMarco would watch that show. Uh-oh. Wait, pause. I forgot to put the address in. Okay. We'll try that again. 5. Oh, no. Huh. Did I not upload the file? What's going on here? Oh, son of a bitch. Goddamn. I forgot to capitalize the DS in DS9. I always capitalize it, but I forgot to today. Okay, capitalization counts, people. 5, 4. Yeah, sorry about that. False start, minus 5 points. 5 yards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Load that up. And we have ignition. And we've got phaser fire. Oh my God. And Quark clearly has a headache. And he's upset. And Dax says, who's winning the war? It's too early to tell, says Quark. Dax says, it's been 2 days. Quark says, don't remind him. He says, they found a nest. Dax says, that's good. And Quark says, it's not the main nest. And she says, that's not good. And she says, I thought Chief O'Brien got the last vole off the station months ago. Quark says, obviously he missed a couple. A married couple. And he says, they breed like tribbles. And Dax says, but they're not cute. So Quark says he knows this is a temporary setback. In a few days, he can get back to his life. And Dax says, I know, I'm glad you realized that. And Quark says, the problem is I hate my life. And so Quark lays down in his quarters. And Rom comes into his quarters. He's like, what do you want? He's like, you have every right to be upset. But he's got news that's going to cheer him up. Quark doubts it. He says, trust me, I'm about to make you very, very happy. To the point that Quark turns around and actually believes him. And then he has Leeta come in. And now he turns himself back around. He's like, what's she doing here? And Rom says, we're getting married. And Quark says he wishes he was dead. And Leeta says Quark needs someone to talk to, someone to pamper him. And Quark says he needs to be alone. But Rom had an idea. And he says, let me guess, Chief O'Brien? He's like, no, it's not a bad guess. There's only one person in his life who's always been there for her. Him. Who comforts him when he's sad. Who showers him with endless love without asking anything in return. And Leeta says she'd like to meet the person. And Quark says, so would I. And Rom says, you already know her. And she'll be there with open arms. And of course he meant moogie. And it takes us to Ferenginar, where the torrential rains never stop. So Moogie is at her house. Somebody's banging on the door. It's Quark. She's surprised to see Quark. He didn't call ahead. He's like, Moogie, hold me. Aww. And she does. She was not expecting him, but she's there. And I'm sorry, I can't do the intro today. Let me read the comments. Josh reads his low. Bird of Prey forgot to upload the episode. No, it was just a typo. Carlos is Bird of Prey. Future Bird of Prey said don't forget to capitalize the DF. 5-minute penalty. Repeat the first down. Says John Araki. Carlos says this is the most important thing. No, family is the most important thing. According to that guy Miles had killed by the Orion Syndicate. Sci-Fi Nation says greetings, Birdo Prey, Momo Prey, Sassio Prey, and fellow nerds. All hail glorious Kuroga, and of course, dear leader and God Emperor Bird of Prey 5. We'll be listening as I clean, rearrange, and make dinner. Carlos, wait. This isn't. Springtime says Bird of Prey. Are you doing okay? Hopefully your family is doing well, including your friend Life with Matthew. I am legally obligated to mention him. And Aravic Saunders put in a $1 super chat. Thank you, Aravic. And Carlos says it is. Do. 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 Do, do, do. There we go. I'm sorry. Okay. I got in a little bit of it. So Rom says of all the Bajorian prophecies, his favorite is something number 7. Carrying a chalice, bearing no malice. Brian says somebody's been studying the ancient text. Leeta wants a traditional Bajorian wedding. And Dax says that's very nice of Rom to do that for her. So Brian says, well, is she doing the same for you? Learning the rules of acquisition. And O'Brien says he's not a very traditional Ferengi. Dax says you're the least Ferengi she's ever met. And Rom is looking pretty sad. And he's like, he's feeling bad about it. And Dax says it's not a bad thing. No Ferengi could marry a non-Ferengi. He'd never be able to trust her. Quark is talking to his mom, to Moogie. He sees all these great opportunities, and he's not able to do anything about it because he doesn't have his Ferengi business license anymore. So she's like, why did you come here? And she's like, you disapprove of me, Quark. You always have. Moogie, stop wearing clothes. Moogie, stop earning profit. So Quark says he knows the two of them living under the same roof isn't going to be easy, but she's the mother. She's like, what do you mean by living together? A day? A week? 2 weeks? And Quark says he doesn't know until he starts feeling better, unless she doesn't want him. She's like, you're my son. How can I say no? And he says, so you'll remove all that unnecessary clothing? And he says, don't push your luck. She needs some cooking, some nice juicy tube grubs. She'll pre-chew it for him. Quark is going into his room. She didn't want him to go. Here's all his stuff. She's thrown out her Marauder Mo action figures. And he opens his closet, and the Nagus is in there, and he just handed the Nagus his bag. It's Grand Nagus. He's like, Quark, what are you doing here? He's visiting his mother. He says, you've been banned by FCA. Leave Ferenginar at once. And he throws the bag at Quark. And Quark leaves. He's like, I gotta go. The Nagus knows I'm here. He's like, wait, what's the Nagus doing in my closet? Moogie is like, the Nagus? He's like, Zachy, you might as well come out. She says, the next time you visit, call first. Sometimes the only thing more dangerous than the question is an answer. Rule of acquisition 208. Quark says, whatever she did now, he had nothing to do with it. She says, relax, Quark, she's not in trouble. And she's like, why would she be in trouble? He just, Quark didn't know, since he doesn't know what he thought. He's so confused. The Nagus is about what? It's all very simple. This is a spam call. No, I got this. Hello?
Hello, this is Sarah from Discover.
Oh, so the Nagus says he's in love with Quark's mother. They met at the Global Tango Championships. He was playing in the Golden Masters edition, and she was in the basement, in the sub-basement, in the female division. Springtime, says Bird of Prey. What was your latest prophecy about the year 2022? Star Trek will continue to suck. Josh reads, is Bird of Prey, damn Dax, why doesn't she always screw with Quark and his brother? She, I don't know. She has something for Ferengis. So Zek basically didn't know he was talking with a female, and he almost had a stroke. And but ever since, they've been dating. And then Nagus's servant brought the mother some, I don't know, some type of food. And Quark says he doesn't believe it. And then Nagus says nobody's going to tell anybody. And he says he's never seen the Nagus happier. And Nagus says he's never been happier. He's going to get back to running the Empire. Try not to miss him too much. She said she misses him already. Don't forget your appointment calendar. He says, thank you. Your mother's a rare jewel, Quark. Worship her, as I do, says Zek. John Araki says, Dear Bob, moving DS9 Wednesday to Tuesday can trigger a Nexus event and result in pruning of variant birds. Please stop disrupting the sacred timeline. Thanks, Mobius. Carlo Albanese says, Sunday. Bird of Prey might eat the out-of-date spam. Mom will pray save for him when he reviews the Twilight Zone. Rom wants a slightly longer lunch than usual. he needs Leeta to sign this. So he wants Leeta to sign this document that says that she won't be allowed to own any profit or real estate. Oh, so since Rom is going to wear the earring, that he's going to make Leeta sign this, and if she doesn't, the wedding's off. And O'Brien says, well, of course she'll sign it. And of course they jump to Leeta, and Leeta says, are you crazy? I'm not going to sign this. Because a marriage is about sharing everything, including money. And he's like, he's a Ferengi, says Rom. Women and whatever, money don't mix. Rule of Acquisition 94. He says, it's true. You're right. Just like her, you're after my money. His first wife. You're only pretending to care about him. And Leeta's like, Rom, I love you, not your latinum. He says, then prove it. Sign the WPMP. And she says, never. Rom says, then the marriage is off, and he takes off the earring. She says, you bet it is. Oh my God, Quark has to watch his mother in the Nagus. And he's like, tell me, Nagus, how was your day? The Bowlings have agreed the Ferengi Gaming Commission to take over their gaming emporium. He's going to allocate extra funds for a new breed of some type of beetle. They're going to revolutionize the entire beetle snuff industry. And he says, no wonder why the Ferengi economy is growing at a record pace. And Quark is sucking up to Zek. And he's like, your kindness and generosity. He's like, forget it, Quark. I'm not going to revoke your business license. I'm not going to redo it. He said, they revoked it. They're the ones that are going to have to reinstate it. He says, but you're the Grand Nagus. You can do anything you want. He's like, true, but a contract is the basis of Ferengi authority. If he intervened on his behalf, he'd be encouraging others to violate the law. Moogie says he makes a good point. What you did was wrong. And so they're going to take a stroll in the garden. And the Nagus wants Quark to help his servant clear the table. He's not as young as he used to be. Springtime, as Bird of Prey remembers that bunnies aren't food. Josh Reed says, Tuesday. We'll eat one of the out-of-date Spam cans in his taco Mama Prey will make. No. Anyway, Brunt just came to the house. Oh, he's in the closet. He's conducting official FCA business in the closet. He didn't want the happy couple to see him. Brunt's like, don't play innocent. He knows all about perverted little love affair. Quark says he had nothing to do with it. He only found out about it the other day. Brunt says, she's your mother. It makes you responsible. Like, I can see her now whispering in the Nagus's ear, contaminating his thoughts with her twisted female thoughts. You're going to see clothed females walking down the streets of Ferenginar in broad daylight. He climbed the top of the Tower of Commerce. And he says they have to spare the Nagus even a hint of public disgrace. They have to put an end to the relationship, but privately and quietly. So Quark says, what are you going to do? And Brunt says, I'm not going to do anything. You are. So the Nagus, for reasons that Brunt can't understand, likes Quark. He's the perfect position to do anything. And Quark says, why should I do anything when you revoked my business license? And Brunt says he can reinstate it. And Quark says he's got a deal. Oh, we got a random Ferengi saying once again, he's proven he's got the wisest loaves in all Ferenginar. Says that's what they pay him for. And he walks out backwards. So I guess that's what the Grand Nagus does, is take questions from Ferengi all day. Oh, Quark. Quark comes up. He needs to speak to Nagus. It's a personal matter. He just dropped by to pay his respects. So in that case, pay him. It actually means physically payment. He says, good, now go. Before he goes, he wants to say how proud he is that you consider his home his home. He says, yeah, I'm very proud. He's like, and Nagus says, I'm a very lucky man. And he's like, the only person not lucky around here is you, Quark. And Quark is like, I'm just happy she found somebody despite all those rumors about her. He's like, oh, I know the rumors. And the rumors that she earned profit, she gave it all up. He knows about them. He's like, no, the other rumors. The rumors that she didn't give up her money. That she's going to fund political revolution and fight for equal rights for female. And Zek is like getting angry. Quark's like, so what if she wears clothing? He's like, that's not crimes. And what if she's as cunning, as ruthless as any male? It doesn't mean she's not to be trusted, says Quark. Zek is saying the important thing is that she loves you and that you're not some pawn in her plan for domination. He says it's horrifying, but luckily it's just rumors, says Quark. So Quark says, time to go. I'll see you at night tonight. He can hardly wait for him to get home. And the Nagus says, now that she mentions it, she really has no business wearing clothes in front of her Nagus. And Quark is very proud of himself. She said the mother is saying she should start dinner. Zeki's going to be there any minute. Quark says he's not hungry. He must have been too depressed. He's like, it's awful. You don't know what it's like to be denied the opportunity to earn profit. And she's like, yes, I do. He's like, no, it's worse for a male. He says, is it? And Quark says he's in no mood to argue politics. He's too distressed. She's like, okay, I'll talk to Nagus. I'll see if I can convince him to act on your behalf. Says, she says, you're a manipulative, self-centered conniver. She says, thank you. He says, thank you. Anyway, he should be right over. So Quark says he'll make himself scarce. So he leaves his own house. So we're back on DS9. So Worf says General Martok is a great warrior. He has no business being in a holding cell. Odo says rules are rules. And Cisco says Constable, release Martok. And Worf, tell the general this is not a Klingon space station. If he can't abide by rules, Gowron will send us someone who can. And Joe Biden donated $1.49 and got kissing Dax. How appropriate that our president Joe Biden got kissing Dax. Says I also think women should wear clothes. Yeah, should wear clothes in my house. Hail China Karoga number 22. I also don't think women should wear clothes in my house, says Joe Biden. Hail China Karoga. Thank you, Joe. Hashtag they wiped my butt. So Rom was crying, and Cisco came across him, and he's like, no, these are tears of joy. The wedding's off. Anyway, Kira and Leeta are also talking, where Leeta's trying to convince herself that she's happy too. And Kira's like, no, I know. That's how I know you love him. And so Leeta's crying, and now Quark comes home and sees Moogie crying, and he's very proud of himself. He says, Moogie, I'm home. He says, what happened? You reinstated? What happened? Did the Nagus say no? She says, don't you think of anybody but yourself? She's like, of course I do. But he thinks about himself first. Oh, he said, he left her. Zeki left her. All she did was ask him to reinstate Quark, and he accused her of overthrowing the government. And he said that you were a scheming, manipulative female. And she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do without him. And she's like, I don't know what he's going to do without me. And Quark says, it's probably better this way. She's like, no, it isn't. It's a disaster for all of us. Arabic Saunders says, Quark's house looks like a futuristic holosuite. Oh, Hobbit hole. So Quark calls Brunt. Says, I hope you had a productive day. He says, see you're smiling, Quark, so I assume your mother is not. So as of now, his business license is as valid as his own. He says, congratulations, Quark, you're Ferengi again. And Quark says under his breath, he always was. Yes, one word makes a big difference, Carlo. Positive Candor says it's Wednesday already, Bird of Prey. Also, happy belated birthday to Nana Visitor, Kira Nerys. Yes, yesterday we did wish her a happy birthday. We had to do it early today because tomorrow, Positive Candor, I will be busy being evaluated for a new power wheelchair at this time. So Zek called the house and says, hello, Rom. And he says, it's Quark. He's like, that's what I said. And he's like, why? The Moogie's like, why is the Nagus contacting you? He's like, I don't know. But he'll do everything he can to straighten things out between the two of them. That's a promise. And he's like, you want me to be the first clerk to the Nagus? And he says, that's right. My own personal financial assistant. Quark says, why me? Says, as a reward for saving him from that wretched mother. He says, the chance to protect in the main decisions that shaped the empire. He says, good, now brief him on today's petitioners. He needs your access code. And he says numbers. It's not working. Says you must have put them in wrong. No. He's like, maybe it's 154. No, that's not it. He's like, I don't understand it. What did I say those numbers were again? 374. He's like, are those right? You're confusing him. The bodyguard or the servant put in the number for him. It was a 6. The last number was a 6. And Zach says a lifetime of numbers. You can't blame him for forgetting a few. Who's the first petitioner? Damon Idol. He wants to know whether he should sell his geranium interests on the open market or the futures. He says, an interesting question. He said, don't just stand there. Let's see how geranium's been doing. It says over the last 3 trading cycles, an increase of 7 3/4, a decrease of 1 1/8, a decrease of 11 3/8. And the Nagus is getting his basic math wrong. He's like, who cares about uranium anyway? He's like, Damon Eigel. Who the hell's Damon Eigel? Says the Nagus. He's like, do I like him? And Quark looks at the servant guy, and he's starting to realize the Nagus has lost his mind. He's too old. So Rom is in his quarters looking at his entire life savings. And Chief O'Brien says he needed something. So he says, why 2 piles? He's thinking of giving her half of everything she owns. And he's like, well, maybe she'll sign the PMP. And O'Brien says, but if she signs it, she can't have any profit. She'll got to give it back to you. He's like, have you ever really looked at Latinum? It's so beautiful. O'Brien's like, do you want Leeta back or not? Do you want her back or not? Answer the question. Kawam says he'd do anything to hold her in her arms again. So he says, anything? And he holds a piece of latinum. We got Leeta on the promenade, and Rom says, 1 jumja stick, please. She says, what flavor? She's like, then what do you want? And Rom's like, I don't like jumja sticks. I want you to marry me. He gave all his latinum to Major Kira, the Bajoran War Orphans Fund. He has nothing left to protect. She doesn't have to sign anything. And Leeta says, you did that for me? And Rom says, I did it for us. So that's all we need. That and her salary from Quark. So that was a really stupid thing to do. Give all your money to the Bajoran War Orphans Fund. So you can get married. So O'Brien and Bashir are watching from above. And Bashir says, "Well done, Chief," or should I call you Cupid? And so Quark asks, Quark says, "Where were the mother?" Says, "Where were you?" He says, "The Quark made the Nagus made him his first whatever," and says, "Then you've had a bad day." And now the mother's trying to explain to him that you got to repeat what you say 2 or 3 times for him to retain it. He says he's starting to realize that she was the power behind the Nagus. She just helped him a little, she says, guided him. A leveraged buyout there, some investing here. She says, well, he said, "Why didn't you tell him?" If he had told her, he never would have. She's like, "What?" He's like, "Never would have what?" Like, you turned Zek against me. You filled him with those lies. Who put him up to it? She's like, "Brunt, what did he offer you? Your business license back?" Says, "Oh my God." Farlow says, "Oh my God, vertebrae, it's Biden." Zek is the closest to Biden. It's like, "Congratulations, Quark. You've not only destroyed my life and Zek's life, you may have presided over the destruction of the entire Ferengi economy. I hope it was worth it." So Brunt comes up to see Quark was in quite early. A 199-point plummet. I haven't seen that steep a market slide since Grand Nagus meet. The only Grand Nagus to be assassinated in office. And the first clerk. He says, "I think they were buried together." Quark says, "I think we'll do better today." He said, "No, the markets will remain closed today." The FCA is going to ask some questions, and by the time he's done, he'll be out of a job. And Quark's like, "Why are you picking on me?" And now Brunt sits in the chair. He's like, "Grand Nagus Brunt." He's like, "You knew the tricks about the Nagus all along." "You mean Zach's failing memory?" "Now that you mention it, yes, he did know." So that's why he wanted to destroy the relationship. He couldn't have done it without Quark. Brent says he's going to let him keep his business license, just pack his bags and go back to Deep Space Nine. So Moogie says, "Why are you still here? You've proven yourself a true Ferengi. You betrayed friends and family for personal gain." Quark says, "It sounds so good when you say it, but he's been hanging around humans too long. He's developing a conscience." Quark says it's been coming for a long time. He really tried to fight against it. But living with those people day in and day out, being exposed to their morality, he's been brainwashed. Yes, Jeffrey Combs is Brunt. Moogie doesn't give a damn about Quark's problems. He's got much bigger problems. Do you want Brunt to become Nagus? And he says, of course not. He was willing to throw the entire economy into chaos to grab power. He says, well, maybe it sounds like a Ferengi, but not a Nagus. The Nagus has to represent the public's greed. So Mother says, what are we going to do about it? So Zek is laughing. He says, they thought they had us, but he answered every question. Why he opened negotiations with the Breen, why he agreed to buy up everything. He's like, I actually thought Brent's head was going to explode, said Quark. He said, by the time he's finished with him, he'll wish it had, says Zek. He underestimated him, says Zek. And he underestimated you too, says Zek. And he says, I may have fooled those liquidators, but I'm not fooling myself. At time, his memory betrays him. Quark says, the Vulcan's been very successful at treating memory loss. The Vulcans have no appreciation of profit, but they make good doctors. Make an appointment for him, says Zek. So Zek says, I'll never forget what you did for me, Rom. He says, it's Quark. And Zek says, gotcha. I may have lost my memory, but not my sense of humor. As far as he's concerned, you're still the first clerk. He says, my confidence in me is misplaced. And he's asking the servant to leave. He says, I need a financial advisor. Quark says, I understand. Let me introduce my financial advisor. And it's Moogie. He says, don't tell me. He says, why did you bring that female here? And Quark says, because the Nagus deserves the best advisor there is. And that's my Moogie. All the advice I gave today came from her. And she's like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still going to push for equal rights for females. And someday I hope you will too. But she's not going to lie and she's not going to do anything to hurt them. He says, that's not what he heard. And she says, they were lies. Tell him, Quark. Quark said, I stretched the truth. He says, you're fired. The question is, what am I going to do with you? Moogie says, anything you want. And he says, what man can resist an offer like that? She's like, we'll go home and she'll make dinner. He says, no, Mayador's servant will make dinner. He's got other plans for her. So Quark is getting ready to leave. She's like, oh, leave some room. His Marauder Mo action figure. He's like, I thought you threw these out. It's like, no, all these years he's been taking them in storage. She figured that he'd want to take them back to Deep Space Nine. He's like, do you have any idea how much these are worth? She's like, not as much if you'd kept them in the original packaging, which is what he told her, what she told him at the time. And he says, even then you were dishing out sound financial advice. He says, thank you. And Brunt is at the door. He says, Brunt, FCA. Quark says, but for how much longer? He says, don't worry about me, Quark. He's a survivor. So Brunt says, so the happy couple is back together. So he says, why wouldn't he tell anybody about it? Says because the Nagus is ready for you. If you go against him, he'll lose. He says he might not be able to destroy the Nagus, but he can destroy Quark. And he's like, what are you gonna do? Revoke my business license? He's like, the Nagus won't like that. He's like, nope, I want you back in business. One day you're gonna make a mistake, and then he'll be in. He wants him to stay in business. And Quark says, well, the day's not today, and back in the closet where you belong. And Grunt says, it's not over yet. Quark says, don't make me come in there after you. And Quark is playing with his action figures, and the mother yells his tube grubs are getting warm? I don't know. Cold? I don't know. And that's it. End of episode. Quark's playing with his Marauder Mo. Carl says this is a stream from tomorrow, being transmitted back in time right now by a great Karogan time communication device. Hail Karoga. Well, this is not the last we'll see of Brunt. Carlo, Brunt, I believe Brunt will be back. The Random Menace says in Kazakhstan, it's already 3 a.m. on Wednesday, so this stream is just fine. There we go. Thank you, Yosef. Anyway, guys, thank you all for hanging out and watching. I do not know what the deal will be with tomorrow. I will try and stream. I'm not sure what the time will be. I am imagining it'll be an open line stream, maybe an open lines and gaming stream. Assuming I'm feeling up to it physically. Frankly, I'm not sure I will be. I want to say I will be, but we are in Joe Watch category here. So I don't know. I'll do my best. If for some reason I can't stream, I will post at Twitter. I will let Captain Trek know somehow, and you guys can do what you got to do. Thank you all for hanging out. Carlo Albanese says, praise the Soup Jedi Bill. Enjoy a good brew. Captain Trek, and as always, hail Karoga. Birdo Prey 5, hail Karoga. Cinnabon says, have a good day. Carlo gives a hug. And Dee Dee Myers says, thanks, Birdo Prey, for this episode of DS9. Bradley Briggs says, live all and prosper, you all. Hashtag me poo. Well, now that it's Salty Tracker, I don't think me poo is going to work anymore. Random Menace hopes you feel better. Thank you, Random Menace. Dee Dee Myers says, just take care of yourself, my friend. We ain't going anywhere. Have a good night. And Qapla. Qapla all. Take care. Bird out. But wait, there is more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Birdo Prey 5 needs. At the main Birdo Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Birdo Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Birdo Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Karoga.